Good night, greetings everybody. We are G-Syndicate, and tonight is vibes as we syndicate you vibes. You know, you're gonna be hearing some songs off our upcoming EP. Think it's gonna be nice. So right about now, we're starting with this one. Ready to blow? So are you ready to go? So are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh, ready to blow, ready to blow. Oh, so let me go.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time to start the party. Sometimes we be getting dirty. This time we're starting this thing right. Hey, so just kick off your shoes. It's no time to feel the blues. So baby, we gonna do our thing tonight. Oh, leave the work at home, leave the stress alone. Toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you got the chance. Don't you feel just dance? We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time for you to be free. Relax, just enjoy the party tonight. We just gonna ease our mind. So just leave them on the wall, 'cause we're not gonna step on all in the way. Just leaving all our fears behind. So leave the work at home, leave the stress alone. Toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you've got the chance. Lose your fears, just dance. We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Let the music take control. Let it seep into your soul. When the bass line starts pulsating, feel the stress keep evaporating. Let it creep into your mind. There could be no better time to get on the floor, 'cause we're just ready to blow. Ready to blow, start up the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark on the trombone.
Start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go.
Give it up for Mark, y'all. So let me go.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go.
Ready to blow.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Yes, folks, good night one more time. We are G-Syndicate. This next song we're going to do for you, you can find it on our upcoming EP called Revive. We released it last year, and we're ready to rock. This one is called Chemistry.
Hey girl. Hey melanin dripping, sweet Sweet calico, honey bar, good looking. The way how you move it, put me in a mood, I'm glad to see you. Your waistline on the baseline, so attractive, I wanna be a captive. I see a smile on your face now, so beautiful, I know you're original.
So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back for me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. Now you're not son, show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. That's my baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. I love you're not son, show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. That's my baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving.
Come talk to me, girl. Classy and intelligent, are you around the world? Let me say face to face. Know you feel the tension, just had to mention. Your brown eyes, shining bright, so gorgeous and glowing like sunlight. I hear your voice, angelic eyes, so amazing. I wanna keep this going.
So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. I love you're not son, show off, show off. You have my attention, gal, you're sweet off. That's me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause it's still grooving. I love you're not son, show off, show off. You have my attention, gal, you're sweet off. That's me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause it's still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving.
Hey, girl, I wanna take you home with me.
And hey, girl, show you good energy, yeah.
Hey, girl, I wanna treat you right, you see, you see, you see.
Hey, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. Lord, you're not son, show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. That's me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause it's just grooving. Lord, you're not son, show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. That's me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause it's just grooving. Lord, you're not son,
Show off, show off.
you have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. That's me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, we're still moving. I know you're not son.
Show off, show off.
You have my attention, and that's for me, baby.
Step out, step out.
Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. We're still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving. Yeah.
The next selection is entitled Englishman in New York, a song made famous by Sting in the 80s. Hope you enjoy. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
I don't drink coffee, I drink tea mate. I like my toast done on one side. You can hear it in my accent when I talk. I'm an Englishman in New York. See me walking down Fifth Avenue, a walking king here at my side. I take it everywhere I walk. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien.
a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
If manners make it man, as someone said, he's a hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and smile. Be yourself, no matter what they say.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Englishman in New York.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Modesty's propriety can lead to notoriety. You could end up as the only one. Gentleness, sobriety, all rare in this society. At night a candle's brighter than the sun. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made up. There's nothing you can do in New York. There's more than combat gear to make a man. There's more than a license for a gun. Confront your enemies, avoid them when you can. A gentleman will walk but never run. If manners make it man, and someone said he's the hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and strive. Be yourself, no matter what they say.
We know you sing at home.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Englishman in New York City.
I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Englishman in New York.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Now, growing up in the 90s, I would have loved these songs, and I'm sure those of you that know them will love them as well. So we got two songs coming up for you. We got I Wanna Know by Joe and Someone to Love by John B. and Babyface. Hope you guys enjoy.
It's amazing how you knock me off my feet. Every time you come around me, I get weak. Oh. Nobody ever made me feel this way. No. You kiss my lips and then you take my breath away. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, I wanna know. So I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know what makes you cry. Oh, so I can be the one to always make you smile. Girl, he never understood what you were with. No. And he never took the time to make it worse.
More loving girl.
Baby, I'm the kind of man who shows consent. Yes, I do. Any way that I can please you, let me learn. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, and I wanna know so I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know.
Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I'm your host, Neil, joined as always by my brother from another mother, and your host, Derek.
Hail.
And together we are here with another edition of the Senate Podcast. My brother, how is everything? How is life treating you? Talk to me nice.
Yeah, man, here. Getting a lot of static. I don't know if that's on my end or yours.
I ain't hearing that. On your head, man.
I know.
You hear me? Derek?
Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, you can hear me, right?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear you.
hear
Yeah. We good. I ain't getting the static. I ain't hearing nothing.
Yo, rock on, you know? Yeah, man. Okay. Yeah, a little low, I feel a little tired. A little headache, yes. Okay, y'all. I'll say I'm here. Hardsburg, as always. Keep it trucking. How are things on your end, my brother?
Yeah, you're forgetting something though. I ain't hear. You give me no horns. I ain't hearing no horns.
I dropped the horn already.
Oh well. Oh God, you're covered. No. All right. Yes, sir. Right, we here. I know it's a little cold here, but no, it is. I press on. I persevere.
Yeah, man.
And they keep going. Anyhow, let everybody know about G-Syndicate. You know, again, G-Syndicate has a brand new virtual concert out ready to blow. That's what you have been saying the last few like streams you would have seen. About half of it, just under half of it, you would have been seeing on the live stream. But Darius is going to tell you how you guys can go ahead and watch the rest of it, or how to get that with G-Syndicate social.
Yeah, man. You can check it out. Check us out on gsyndicate6.com. It is here on YouTube, so you can check that show here on YouTube at G-Syndicate6. Also on Twitter, G-Syndicate6. Facebook, G-Syndicate6. Instagram, G-Syndicate6. You just got to spell out the 6 to get to us on Instagram. Shout out the guys, as always, Kiyomal, Vaden, Mark, Brett, and Hugh. Big up to everybody that are in the place already. I see Aston Time go Fox and yo dog. Carry on. Big up Carry on. See Carry on here more often. We appreciate it. Carry on, we must have you on live one of these days for this.
Are you there? You're breaking up.
Yeah, man. I still here.
Yeah. Good night to everybody.
Yeah, the fella say I still see you get some strange noises in the audio. You want to cut down? Want to come again with this?
Wait, hold on.
And see if
Hold on. All right, cool. All right, so let us know if you're still hearing it. I don't hear it anymore. Let us know if you guys are still hearing it, and if so, I will go in the call and start back. Let us know if you guys are hearing anything. Be here, we listen. Yes, I can hear it. All right. Tell me if you. All right. You go ahead and you can start the show, ladies and gentlemen. Eric will lead us in sermon tonight. We're talking.
I'll tell you what, Neil. Because I still getting this static in my ear too. So how about you give me a quick call back and see if that works?
All right, no problem. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. While we deal with some technical difficulties, you know how it is. You are indeed watching the Senate Podcast. Subscribe, just like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Like this week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we do be sending shorts. Those are a bit less serious than nevertheless, we still have those. And then we have We have the live streams Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8. Let me know if you guys are still hearing it. I mean, yeah, that's on my end. All right, so what to do there is you could go ahead and start delivering the sermon, and I will chime in when I can.
Alrighty. So what we gonna do? As a matter of fact, the question for the night is: marriage a scam designed by men to take advantage of women? And some people thought that this was a particularly interesting topic. Oh, again, it bad there. So Neil, if you could rest this particular graphic that I know highlight for you, if you could rest out on screen for me, everybody can see what's going on. You got it there? Right. So we've got a guy, he's on bended knee here, as my man chuckle with that, you know, bended knee like boys to me, saying, would you do me the honor of taking on even more responsibilities while my life remains largely unchanged, right? That deserves a... So yeah, there's a prevailing thought, folks, that marriage today is oppressive and a scam which only benefits men and does not benefit women at all. The interesting thing about it is, though, marriage rates are at a historic low and still on a constant decline. So I got to ask the question, how is it possible that more men aren't asking women to marry them if marriage is this great scam from which only men benefit? So, fellas, are we so blunt? Whatever it is, they're done there now, yeah. You still with me, Neil?
Yeah, I still hear you. You can hear me now?
Yeah, hearing you loud and clear and no crackling and popping like the Rice Krispie treats, right?
Sweet.
Yeah. So, fellas, are we really so blunt that we are now refusing to take advantage of a good deal? Or is it all a Jedi mind trick to make us believe that women are getting the short end of the stick? So what we're going to do, we're going to start off tonight with a couple of videos from the treasure trove that is TikTok. And we're going to show you maybe three ladies sharing their respective views on marriage. The first one is 2 minutes and something. The other two are significantly shorter than that, but they are entertaining nonetheless. If you have small children around, you can definitely hide your children for the second video.
Hide your kids.
Hide the wife.
All right, so let's get into it. All right, we got the first one here. So
this is probably reason number 500,000 of why I'm going to be single for the rest of my life, and I'm fine with that. I don't want to do anything for you. I don't want to cook for you. I don't want to clean for you. I don't want to be your secretary and set your appointments and chase you around and make you go because of your health. I don't want to pick up your socks for you. I don't want to be one of those people who comes on TikToks and makes funny videos about how you can't do anything for yourself and men do the darndest things and everybody's in the comments like, yeah, my husband does that too. My boyfriend does that too. Fuck that. I want to be with somebody who is an adult, a fully functioning adult. It's been proven time and time again that men are the ones who benefit from marriage and relationships because we get in them and we do everything and they just get to sit back and receive everything from us. And then as a treat, they might do something for our birthday or for Mother's Day. Men get to exist in relationships and just receive. Why can't we exist together? And if we do nice things for each other, it's just organic. It just happens. But it's not the expectation. It's not something I have to do because I'm the woman. When I come home after a long day, I don't want to cook either. I don't want to do shit either. Why can't we flip a coin to see who cooks or if we order food and then whoever cooks, the other person cleans. Why can't you pick up after yourself? Why can't you set your own appointments? Why do I have to be your secretary? I'm not working for you. I'm not working for you. I have gotten so lazy. I'm not doing anything. And then there are men who will say, well, then what are you good for? What's the reason why someone should be with you? You're proving my point. You just want to be with somebody to do everything for you. I want to be with a fully functioning adult male who we can come together and exist together, do fun stuff together. We take turns, we pull our own weight. And that seems to be unreasonable. That's asking someone to be an adult is unreasonable? I don't even want a cat. I don't even want a pet. I have a plant. I'll be a plant lady. I will be happy. I will not take care of a grown person. I won't.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. No, no. If I could just add a little 2 cents here real quick. I find it fascinating how she tries to conflate a grown, fully functioning adult male to a husband. I love how she conflates those two things, where she sees it as picking up after a man, taking care of a man, doing this, that, the next, and the third for a man. And she's conflating that to the man not being a fully realized adult man. You understand what I'm saying?
I with you, dog.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Just
it's my Ramel Hall in the house, man. Shout out Ramel.
Shout out Ramel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she said, she made a couple points there. She talked about, you might get a treat, and then for Mother's Day or your birthday or whatever. But we all know how it goes in terms of us men getting treats for Father's Day and stuff like that. We had Father's Day early last month, and everybody was complaining that they don't know what's ties and boxes. Fellas know for the birthday what they can get. The same, stuff that you normally get year round if you get it. So then again, yeah, that might be a treat depending on your relationship you're in, right? But anyhow, we got the next lady. Let's get her on screen too, right? I like this lady. She's funny.
Wait, let me see who's the next lady here. Yes, all right, got you covered.
Yeah, just hide the kids, hide the wife, right, guys?
Yeah, yes. It's gonna be a little rough when they get in tonight. All right, so let's go.
That's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore.
Ooh, I got one. Marriage. Marriage is a big ass scam. It doesn't benefit the woman at all. All we do is take on more work and take on additional children, including the ones we birth and the one we married to. In addition to that, they expect us to do all of the housework, all of the children rearing, everything that they felt like their grandmothers and their mothers were doing or did do. And I gotta go to work. And I gotta pay bills. And I gotta do all kinds of other shit for his ass. No, marriage is the biggest fucking scam that's ever been pulled on a female. I tell all of y'all, stay the fuck away from that shit.
Oh boy. Good night, Tariq. I see Tariq, Cherish, Steve. Thanks for joining us. Everybody that's joined us, thanks for joining us. Remember to give us a like, follow, share, subscribe if you haven't given all of us those nice things. And yeah, Derek, I can let you get into your sermon, man. I'm not going to interrupt your church flow.
But no, Neil, we got one more. We got one more because there's actually somebody who agrees with the second lady. Mm-hmm. And she thought it necessary to put her on screen too. So let's have that video also before. Stay calm, Aston. Stay calm. Yeah.
Aston ready to get volatile. All right, let me get it.
It's become so normalized that
Watch this.
It's a scam anymore.
Marriage, but only if you're they start training you early.
Tell them,
You're a
sister.
little girl, you get that pink plastic kitchen play set and pink plastic vacuum cleaner, so you know exactly what your role is going to be when you grow up. Then you get the fairy tales and the Disney treatment, where the damsel in distress meets the handsome prince and they live happily ever after.
Then you graduate to romance novels and rom-coms where those red flags are dressed up as adorable little quirks. By the time you're in high school, you're shopping for prom dresses in the same store as wedding gowns, so it seems like it's the next logical step. But while everyone and everything in the world is teaching you how to be a good wife, they're not teaching men how to be good husbands. Bam! Even though many women have conversations before to get married, a lot of them still find themselves taking on the lion's share of the household work. Meanwhile, your husband is benefiting off all your labor. And after 20 years, when you're no longer a size 2 or appealing to him, he drops you for a younger model, only to do it all over again.
Oh boy, this is. I didn't think it was going to be so so contentious, so feisty, so spicy.
It's just how I like it, you know?
Yes,
Just
it's
what I
caliente.
Yeah, I like it. Te quiero. Right? Well, first, folks, I feel it's important that we applaud these ladies for their honesty and their bravery. Because the reality is so many women think this way, but they never come out to a public forum and say out loud. So we need to applaud them for their bravery and their honesty, you know. Let me be real, folks. Let's be real. Women want men who have got themselves together. But do the men that those ladies described sound like they have themselves together? Neil, you talked about it. You're talking about a fully functioning human adult and a husband trying to conflate the two, right? They actually referred to them as children. And here's the reality, the harsh reality. The fact that you refer to those gentlemen as children means that these lovely ladies all chose incorrectly, right? But let's look at another video. This is a video from a rapper whose name I've forgotten. I think it's Young Thug or something, so I can't remember his name. But he offers a little bit of clarity, right? So let's get into that particular video. This is another interesting one, right?
We on marriage strike, man. It ain't right, man. It ain't right what they did to Dr. Dre. It ain't right what they did with Jeff Bezos. It ain't right, man. And we refuse to stand for this. Women be getting away with this shit for too long. And never do I see it the other way on the news in Cali. When women who married to rich, you know, married dudes and ain't rich as they, nah, we on that. We on strike, man. No more marriage, fellas. If your wife wants you to get married, say, nah, we on strike. I gotta stand with my people until they change these laws. Marriage should not have no type of way y'all can make that make sense, man. This dude gotta get his woman this money until she remarries. Come on, man. You gotta pay somebody you're not with until she remarries. Her boyfriend, his trips paid for off of you. That's embarrassing, kid. You can't do that to people, man. That ain't right. That ain't right. If the shit don't work out, it's over, man. And that's what that is. Like, okay, it is what it is. You know, like, put you up, maybe set you up for a year where you get your, you know. But if it's over, man. You ain't living the life with me if you ain't with me. What the fuck I still owe you the life for if you not with me? It's over. We have to stick together on this, fellas. No more marriages. Tell the women who try to get married, if you engaged now, cut it off. Say, hey, wife, we can't do this shit. Slim say we got to strike. We standing on that, man. We got to stand up for Dr. Dre. All that good music he gave us, man. All that good-ass music he gave us all these years, man. We have to stand up for Dr. Dre, man.
Ah, boy. That's not Young Thug. I don't know who that is, but that's not Young Thug.
Yeah, can't.
I know. Yeah, that Young Thug. Yeah.
All my things. Right? But anyhow, so this guy, who shall remain nameless at the moment, you know, he kind of puts it a little bit more in perspective, right? Or brings the reality of it, right? Men are usually the ones who get hit the hardest at the dissolution of a marriage, right? Loss of assets and the loss of children is a very real thing. And then you still got to deal with the damage to your reputation as well, right? Very recently, Shawnee O'Neal, Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife, she got remarried. And then, you know, she felt it necessary to go to the public and say, essentially, that she's now found love, you know, and how awesome her new husband is and stuff like that. And to the young rapper's point, she's doing that with Shaq's money. So that's another one of them interesting things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry, Carrie, we can get to the sermon, right? We just had a kind of lady table a little bit, you know. I like to long stroke, but we ain't gonna long stroke tonight, right? The reality is, folks, the lady in the first video, the very first video, she outlined the current status quo of relationships, right? Many women don't want to do anything for men, and even more to the point, they don't want to feel obligated to have to do anything for men. I know there's a point Neil would have made in one of our discussions back and forth a couple months ago, right? They don't want to feel the obligation to have to do anything for men. And guess what? That's fine. That's fine. For now, we can get to that, right? Women have bought into the Disneyfication of relationships. And if you heard the third lady that spoke, who was agreeing with our friend that was so abusive, you find that that's true. They bought into the Disneyfication of it. She talked about, you know, the Disneyfication of relationships is a man supposed to come in, sweep a woman off her feet, they kiss and live happily ever after, wham, closing credits. That's it, right? Relationships require work, ladies and gents. And that work is going to vary from person to person and relationship to relationship. In relationships between men and women, there is an accountability and an obligation to your partner. There always will be. Always. You can't get wrong it. Whether it be a personal relationship, a sexual relationship, a business relationship, there will be accountability and obligation to your partner. And you will have to ensure that the relationship proceeds peacefully and both persons benefit from it. And the only way you can ensure that is by putting in work, right? I don't really talk to the ladies, but let me talk to the ladies right now. Ladies, let me be very clear. Very, very clear. You do not have to do anything for anybody, least of all men. Let me repeat myself. You are under no obligation to do anything for anybody, least of all men. The problem comes though, when you still want to be chosen by men for a long-term relationship or marriage, right? So let me say this. If you have no intention of attending to your partner's needs, then kindly step aside and let someone who wants to be in a relationship be with that person. Yeah? And by the way, do so quietly. Don't be on social media humbugging the place talking about how men is this and men is that, and we using, you know, infamous, these men can't handle a strong, independent black woman. Yeah, just go peacefully and quietly into the dark night. With that being said, let's go to one of the patron saints of the channel, Brittany Renner, right? And hear what she has to say about the, you know, the dreaded submission and dealing with a man in a relationship. There's a lady called Jazzy Brown. She did an interview about how she submits to her man, Cam Newton. This is important because a few months ago, Cam Newton went on somebody's podcast and he talked about modern day women not being able to submit and all that stuff. And now there's this lady, Jazzy Brown, I think that's her name, who is talking about how she submits in a relationship, right?
So you want Jazzy Brown first?
Then we get Jazzy Brown first, and then we can get what is Brittany's response to Jazzy Brown, and then we can come back and we can talk about that, right?
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me get Jazzy Brown here. So, give me 1 quick second, and that's right.
What does a submissive woman do for her man?
Everything.
What does that mean?
You know, like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you And I study you. Like, I know how you are in the morning. I know how you are about midday. I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like, before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And you know, when I talk to my girlfriends about it, they're always like, oh, how you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like, he's rotten. But I love that. Like, I want him to be that. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like, that's who I am. Like, if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy. You know, I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, you know? So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
What are you getting from all that you're giving? What are you asking for in return?
Right. So that is the young lady. So you want Brittany now?
Yeah, there's a little bit of I suspect there's a little bit of exaggeration, a little bit of hyperbole in there, and a little bit of virtue signaling as well. And she really, you know, kind of pump up your chest a little bit in there. Good night to you, Erica. It's good to see you. You are going to love this conversation tonight. So good to see you. I hope you stay for it, and I hope you call in and contribute. That'd be awesome. But yeah, let me get Brittany's response to this.
It's painfully obvious why men love the idea of a submissive woman. Submissive, per its definition, is ready to conform to the authority or will of others. The prefix sub means under. Think of subpar, submarine. In short, your world is under his. Now there seems to be a theme here. Good girls versus bad girls. A lock that can be opened with many keys is a broken lock. And if you can't submit to a man, you're gonna die alone. So my question to men is, do you want perfect Polly? A puppet? A prisoner? Or a partner who has no problem overtly challenging you? King treatment and knowing your partner's love languages, that's one thing. Being submissive is a whole nother thing. It's its own thing. If you find yourself abandoning your wants, needs, desires to make something work, I'm here to tell you, it was never a match to begin with.
Oh boy, I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Yeah, go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, man, that is our girl Brittany. Yeah, let me say it. Marriage isn't for everybody. Yeah, man, it's still here. You got me?
Okay. Yeah, it was breaking up a little bit.
Check.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Marriage isn't for everybody. Everybody can't be a wife, or for that matter, a husband. Right? In recent times, since the passing of my 42nd birthday, my stance on marriage has indeed softened, and yeah, I'm definitely, you know, looking at things very differently now, going forward, right? So yeah, you could say I'm in the market for a wife. However, I'm not in the market for a bad deal. Let me put that on me. I don't that caveat very quickly. I'm not in the market for a bad deal. Right. So no, right? If you got a bad deal, don't even bring it, right? But let me say this. Submission is for wives. Right? Submission is for wives. And we love the scripture that says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Presupposition being that you're a wife first, right? So you gotta be submitting before. Submission is for wives. But here's the challenge. The myth of submission, Neil, is that a submissive woman is a puppet, as Brittany so eloquently said just now in her prepared speech. A puppet unconcerned with her own needs and wants. Women like to make us believe that submitting to a man is akin to slavery, and that they aren't allowed to do anything, and their wants and needs aren't taken care of or even acknowledged. Folks, this couldn't be further from the truth. If you're in a relationship where your wants and needs are not even acknowledged, furthermore taken care of, ladies, you are in the wrong relationship. You have chosen the wrong man. Same for you, gents. If your lady cannot fulfill your wants and needs, or chooses not to fulfill your wants and needs, because that's a very different proposition altogether, you have chosen incorrectly. If you're going about the business of taking care of your partner's needs, there will be no fear or toxicity in the relationship. Let me say that again. This applies to both men and women. If you are going about the business of taking care of your partner's wants and needs, there will be no fear or toxicity in the relationship. Ladies, if you are with the right man, then your needs and wants are his responsibility. Yeah, that's what he said. Your needs and wants are his responsibility, and they will be taken care of. Let me not end with a preposition. They will be handled. By the same token, gents, your needs and wants are her responsibility, and you won't or shouldn't have to worry about them being met if you're with the right woman. But this is where the problem comes. As you would have seen in the videos at the top of the show, many women believe to cater to their man is indeed slavery. Ironically, though, they want their man to cover them under his 4 Ps with no expectations of them. And I always refer to the short that we did where the lady said, hey, you got to pay the rent, the mortgage, cook, clean, wash the grass, do everything. And in return, she's staying loyal to him and taking his last name.
Yeah.
Right? So the 4 Ps. Men bring their 4 Ps to the relationship: protection, provision, problem solving, and procreation. Right? We shout out the Crimson Cure channel, right? Awesome content creator. Crimson Cure, shout out, right? And for those of you who think that I'm a misogynist, Crimson Cure is a woman. I listen to her daily, right? Your protection. You as a man, you provide protection. And we ain't just talking about physical protection. You running in like a guard dog that's being sicked on someone, right? Get that if so for you, so it could not misquote the lady. Protection. It includes shielding from harm by confronting danger, but also in the form of the very structures that he creates or provides that covers in his physical absence or in a hostile environment. This includes rules and guidelines he sets. So immediately, folks, we are going to see the problem that ladies are going to have with this. Yeah, rules and guidelines for your protection, right? Provision. Yeah, that's the second one I call it, provision. He produces masculine light, giving him the ability to look ahead and or prepare in advance. That's what it was called in another time. I would have called it him being the prophet. You got to be protector, provider, prophet, pastor, right? He generates stability in the form of ideas, supplies food, finances, clothing, housing, etc. Right? These are the things our man is doing. Well, so I got here problem solving. I sent you that, right, Neil?
Yeah, it just came through on screen.
Cool. His ability to think in linear and analytical fashion, to be able to dissect and resolve issues efficiently. Shahrazad Ali, in her interview with MTR, she said sometimes you got to protect ladies from a bad idea. Yeah. This is part of problem solving. His problem solving saves time, minimizes wastes of energy, money, etc. He necessitates order out of confusion and chaos and brings a sense of peace. And then procreation, physical intimacy. This is the part that women is not really got a problem submitting, right? ranging from affectionate touches and words to sexual intercourse, any and all expressions of love, care, or support, the creation and raising of his children, legacy with his values and the culture of his household. Shout out the Crimson Cure, right? So when you look at that rather extensive list, even though it's only 4 things, you see all of those things cover a woman. I was speaking to one of our contributors about this earlier this week, saying to her, hey, when you get married, you are covered under this man's 4 Ps. Essentially, if your man can do these things for you, life on easy street. From what I see in here, right? Real femininity. We get. I don't even want to get into real pseudo femininity because here the other day, Saucy Santana, artist, went on stage.
Who's
He's
Saucy
a homosexual.
Santana? Oh,
he's a homosexual artist, right?
Okay. I
And
keep
he went on
hearing
stage.
about this Saucy Santana, but I don't know.
Yeah, and he said that essentially gays run the world, and alluded to the fact that gay men now have to show black women how to be women. That lit up social media. Obviously, the women took offense. We should really look for that interview and review it. That should be interesting review material, right? But real femininity is vulnerable, right? And as such, needs the cover and protection of those 4 Ps that we just outlined, right? But many women approach relationships with men in bad faith and with a spirit of fear, right? You know, the Bible talk about that. It have not given you a spirit of fear. Getting very biblical tonight, Neil.
Go ahead.
A lot of women believe that men do nothing in relationships at best and will be abusive at worst. So when you hear a woman saying, I don't need no man, you know where that's coming from, right? She doesn't want your 4 Ps, gentlemen. And gentlemen, you should all aspire to be able to provide those 4 Ps for the woman that you call wife, or that you deem to be wife someday, right? You should be able to provide those 4 Ps on some kind of level, right? But this is my advice to you, gentlemen. Do not fight with any woman for her to be under your cover. Yeah, don't do it. If you have to do that, you're not going to get what you want in a relationship from that particular woman, right? So simply, fellas, allow her to exercise her right to be single, right? It ain't that hard. She don't fight. Because trying to fight and nah, that ain't making sense. That's a wrestling match, right? And unless you got a good finisher, it ain't gonna work, right? Let's let her go. Or get one in sharpshooters or something, right?
People's elbow or thing.
Yeah. So, fellas, you should be striving to provide those 4 Ps. Let me get a bit more from the Crimson Cure to show you how best you can get there, guys. The things that you should be looking at that will put you on the correct path in terms of providing those Ps, right? Your protection, provision, problem solving, and procreation, right? Because if you're that guy, and this is the 10 life values, right? We're talking about spiritual, health, family, your appearance, dwelling, right? That's the internal 5. Then you got mobility, education, profession, leisure, wealth. Those are the things you will have to take care of, right? You get them there, Neil?
Yeah, you there.
Cool. Spiritual, these are the things you got to look for. These are your life values. Your spiritual value, health, family, appearance, dwelling, mobility, education, profession, leisure, wealth. right? All of those things are going to set you on the correct path to being able to provide what is necessary to cover your potential wife under your 4Ps. So if you got all of these things, right, in order, and you're providing them, I don't see why you should have to fight with somebody to provide for them, if you get what he's saying. When Brittany Renner did this video with her prepared speech and stuff like that, she got a lot of support from people like B. Simone, who said the other day that Martin Luther King was not a great man because there was some kind of suggestion that he may have cheated on his wife. She got support from Sukihana, who was twerking on a minor in one of her music videos the other day. Got support from Carrie Hilson, who is big on conditional femininity. So if a man can do all of these things, then she will be able to submit. Please note, all of these women single. Shoot, Brittany Renner herself was on camera lamenting the fact that she is homeless with a baby, no, not even a car to her name, and living with her mother, right? And we know that she has an awesome skill set in terms of employment, right? Ladies, marriage is not a tyrannical scheme designed by men to take advantage of you. The tyranny and oppression comes when one or both of the parties in the relationship decides that they want to receive more than they give. Both parties have a responsibility to take care of the other person and ensure that their needs are met. But responsibility without authority is slavery. So please understand that you will have to answer to someone else if you want your relationship to survive and thrive. No man is an Islam, according to my man Choco, Shohut Choco. So you cannot be in a relationship and still operate as if you are single. The two do not go together. Gents, we have needs too, right? And if you find that your needs aren't being met, it is better to walk away than to try to bend a tree. Let me say that again so that those of you listening overseas can get what I'm saying. It's better for you to walk away than to try to bend a tree that is already grown.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Just like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. We do this content for you 5 days a week. 5 days a week, not weeks. 5 days a week. Obviously, we do the Senate a long form, Tuesdays and Thursdays, like what we're doing now, and then we do the shorts Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And yeah, so my take on this is you know what I like about what we do there, right? What I like about what we do is we don't have these discussions, right? You and I, we do not have these discussions beforehand, quite literally about an hour to half an hour before you would send me all of the material and I would just get them on screen. Sometimes you would send me what we're discussing hours before. So it's like we don't necessarily have a pre-production meeting, so to speak, of how or what we're talking about, how we can approach it, right? What our ideologies are, anything like that, right?
Yeah.
And I agree with everything you said. I didn't know about the 4Ps. I didn't know about the external and internal 5. But from hearing those women speak, let's be clear, right? Because we get here and we say and we share certain experiences, and people seem to think that they tell me that I need to change our dating pool. You know, I have had good women, right? I have had great women. I have had relationships where they were great, and I saw glimpses of what a relationship should be, right? They didn't work out for a myriad of reasons. Life happens in certain instances, right? Like uh in some cases their shortfall, their shortcomings with myself or with the person or a combination of both. It was not somebody horn somebody or whatever. It literally, maybe it wasn't the right time or life happens or anything like that, right? But generally speaking, when I heard those young ladies speak earlier, right, the videos that you would have put on, and when people say that, men end up to snuff or whatever, usually they're speaking from one, having made bad decisions, and two, having a very warped sense of what marriage should be. You know what I mean? Because let's look at what came before, right? Up until the 60s and 70s, men were dominant in terms of the household, being able to go and work, vote, do certain things, education, etc. Right? Therefore, that scares a lot of women in saying we don't want to submit, like how my grandmother and my mother submitted to her, my grandfather and grand. You know what I mean? I don't want that level of submission in that I stop home, I cook clean when the man come home and the food ain't on, he vex. I gotta stay home, my children, etc. We have to understand, right, that in 2022, when we speak about certain terms like submission, shoot, I even lump in, I even throw in partnership. When we talk about certain terms, shoot, even the term marriage, it means something that I think a lot of people miss. Men generally want an easy time. I am sure women want an easy time. What does that look like? That looks like, both people healthy and whole, or as healthy and whole in body, mind, and spirit as they can be. You know what I mean? Or working toward that as they function. Having some level of understanding with who they are and who the other person is. And understanding that a relationship in 2022 takes both people to happen. In that I agree, a woman is not the person that should only cook clean and do certain things and raise the children, right? And nor is the man the only person that should go there, cut the grass, make money, and all sorts of things. But by that token, that looks different for many different people. I find it strange that those women spoke earlier about, what men should do or what men shouldn't do, or why they, one woman says she want a fully functioning man, an adult, or whatever. And when these women get with men that are sharing in the responsibilities, cooking, cleaning, emotionally in touch with certain things, and operating as how some of these women want to portray, these women don't want these men. You know what I mean? Women don't want men that don't lead. Let us be clear. I understand that a woman can lead. I understand that a woman has the ability in 2022 to go out there and make ends meet and cut the grass and get things done and be a mover and shaker in the relationship and in the household. But women don't want that. Women don't want to do that. Women want a man to take charge and to lead. Right? If women want, man, women say a lot of things. Women that say a lot of things because no, I have to say it because when you talk to women, right? And I am not talking about I talk to one woman and talk. When you talk to one particular woman or a section of women, if you talk to a woman long enough, she is gonna tell you that she is submitting to no man. She believes that a relationship is a partnership, and that if I cook and clean, he should cook and clean. If I go there and make money, he should go there and make money, etc., 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 etc. But you will hear these women say the same thing as, out of their same mouth, they want a man to lead and to take charge. They're tired of a man, they come home and, I just want a man to cut the grass. Why I gotta go there and figure out how to cut the grass? I don't want to cut all the time. I like him to take charge in the kitchen sometimes, etc., etc., etc. So the question is if you have leadership times, even if it is 50-50, even if it is 25% time, you want a man to take charge and to lead. And you have to follow 50%, 25% in time, whatever. Right? You cannot have a man to take charge and lead, and you get vexed and say, well, why am I leading? The problem comes, right? Here to me is the problem that I find with people, right? And I'm guilty of it. I am guilty of it. You know what I mean? I do a lot of self-reflection of late, especially of late. And I realize a lot of things that you lie to yourself about, that you tell yourself, or not necessarily lie to yourself about, but you kind of don't really think about certain things. And when you really reflect on things, you realize some of the things that you want, or some of the things you think you want, or some of the things that you want to perpetuate don't make sense. I think by and large, everybody wants a relationship. Everybody want that relationship where you can put your head on the woman's lap and the man take care of she man, and you know what I mean? The Disneyfication of things. When you see a rom-com, more than likely, you see when you watch Hitch, you see the courting stage, you see the I love you, you see, you know, the woman trying to catch the man up the stairs, or the man trying to catch the woman up the stairs, and the man, you see that, right? The hugging, the kissing. I remember there's a movie I really like called Notting Hill. At the end of Notting Hill, you come and see Julia Roberts' character pregnant, laying down on Hugh Grant's character, and they are in lovely bliss in a garden with children running around, and everything is where flowers and bloom. It looks like spring, everything like that, right? We fixate and focus on that. That's what we want. But you see the day-to-day, everyday things, that's get a little much. Trust me, relationships get tested when you go to clean bathroom, you know. When bathroom gotta get clean, when your house gotta get sweet, when groceries gotta get buy, when cooking gotta get do. That is the
money short.
And money short. I have watched it personally in my life, whether with myself or with other people around me. Relationships fail on some of the basic, fundamental things in a relationship. Because you have not had either A, you chose wrong, B, you didn't have a conversation, or C, you simply did not pay attention to these things in the relationship, right? And so for men want a woman that is easy, peace and peace, right? More than likely, we want PEACE over, well, not more than likely, we do want PEACE over PIECE, right? That's what we want. We have no problem going out there and buy the groceries. We have no problem going out there and pay the bills. We have no problem going to cut the grass. Shoot, men nowadays ain't got no problem cooking and cleaning and doing those sort of things too. You understand what he's saying? As a matter of fact, I posit to you, Derek, that a relationship in 2022 functions when both people have the ability and can be willing, and are willing to do the domestic things in a household and do the hard, grimy day-to-day things. But that's not the problem, Derek. You often say that we live in the relationships now are about consumption, leisure, excess, right? People want, and I can call out the men want porn stars, right? We want women to, you know, swing from wherever, backflip through a flute loop. We want women to do things that don't necessarily happen on a day-to-day basis. Finding a woman that is sexually adventurous, like what you see in a porn, is that don't work.
That not gonna happen.
And if you have that, chances are it's very rare to find a woman that is sexually ambitious like that and still have everything intact to be feminine and to be everything that you want in a woman and in a relationship. Right? Men say that they want peace, but men would still argue that they don't want a woman too docile. They want a woman to you know, at least bring ideas and contribute and do something. They don't want somebody to be completely submissive. So men are guilty of this too. Men are guilty of saying they want something, because here's the difference. We men say we want peace and peace. We just want a woman not to give you a lot of stress and to give you regular sex. But that's vague, right? That looks different to every man, right? Women say they want a man to be a partner 50-50 down the line when it comes to responsibility and chores and paying bills, etc., 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 etc. Until the bathroom go get clean and children screaming, though, it's your turn to clean the bathroom. It's my turn to go with the boys. And it's your, you understand what I'm saying? So I think the fundamental problem I find, and having gone through certain things and seen certain things, forgive me, my camera going in and out, right? The what I have noticed is that we have a preconceived notion in our head. We get into these relationships without having the hard conversations, right? We don't have the adult conversations in the room. We talk about, I want an adult man or woman, or, I want a fully realized man or woman or whatever. But do we have these conversations? Like, here, children, I hate to clean the bathroom, right? I hate to clean the bathroom. So you're going to take care of that. This is what you're going to do for you. I wash every stitch of clothes in the house. You clean the bathroom, everything good. Sweeping, I ain't got no problem with that. We could sweep them up, we could alternate, we could do that, right? Or in one of my relationships before, we both used to get, I remember every Sunday, that is cleaning day. So we used to clean the apartment. We used to get up, both of us, we moving both furniture, we sweeping, we cleaning, we mopping, we cleaning the apartment. That is a both us thing. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes I would sweep, she would mop, other way around, wash dishes, we would take care of everything together. And that was a discussion we had as soon as I moved into the apartment. We don't have these conversations. Whether we don't want to rock the boat or we feel that everything good, and we don't have those conversations. What does end up happening is that we just get together, I love you, you love me, the sex feels good, the peace and whatever you providing, and you got whatever. And then when we get there now, it's like 50-50. All right? The bathroom is yours, outside is mine, or inside is mine, outside is yours. But now you're frustrated because it is a lot. Or
somebody says, hey, I don't feel like doing it today.
Right. And then on top of that too, let us also consider that life happens, right? Life does not happen in a vacuum. Because workload gets increased, layoffs happen, things happen in life. People die, people get depressed, things happen in life that also add to the stress. So you may have a routine, you may have a understanding of how things are supposed to go, right? But what ends up happening is you lose a job, or you got to work overtime, or you got this project that you got to do, or you know what I mean? Things happen.
Yeah.
And now the responsibility falls on the partner more so than everything like that. And instead of saying, well, babe, or shoot, you may say it could be one or two things. One, babe, I got a workload happening here. You can go and fan with the kids or fan with the host or whatever like that for a little bit. Or they might not say anything at all. Or the person might say, you know what? I appreciate that you have these things going, but that's a lot for me. Can we find another solution? There's no conversation. That's why I say, right, for a lot of us, we choose badly, both men and women. And it's not that we choose the wrong partners in every instant. Yeah, sometimes we choose the wrong partner. But in other instances, we choose wrong in how to approach the relationship and have these conversations or not to have these conversations. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of times we just operate with the fact like, this man love me or this woman love me. She should know. She should know. You understand? She should know. He should pick up. He should pick up when I stoops or when I flounce up. Or she should pick up when I just be silent and I go in my mode and my mood and do certain things. Right? We have to do a better job of understanding what we want. We want that happily ever after with a partner. If that is what we want, if we want to be married and be with a person and have that happily ever after, we have to have those hard pointed conversations with ourselves. I have had to do it up to recently where I thought I wanted something or didn't want something, a way of life and a partnership and everything like that. And as you know, you said it, your birthday was what, a month and a half, 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's the same thing you just said, in that you come to realize that you want marriage. You have no problem in taking on a marriage and taking up a situation that is beneficial to both you and you don't want bad deal. That is essentially a similar thing that I am thinking about. I do not want to be alone for the rest of my life. I don't want to, and it's not I'm afraid of being alone necessarily, because you have people in your life, you have family, you have friends, etc. But you want that special someone that you can just be your special someone, that you go to as a primary outlet for expression, for vulnerability, for laughter, for dancing, sex, whatever you want. You just want that person to go through life with. You get that promotion.
As an ex of mine would tell you, a soft place to land.
A soft place to land. You want to get that promotion and say, babe, I just got that promotion. You want your partner to get a promotion and be like, yo, you did it. Yo, you go, you're bad. Get that money. You know what I mean? You want to have that energy and give that energy. You want to receive that energy. You want to give out that energy. If we want that, we have to fundamentally understand a few things. One, we have to understand ourselves. We have to understand what we want, and we have to understand what we are about, what we are willing to do and what we are not willing to do. And I mean down to the nitty-gritty. Are you willing to clean a toilet? You get in a relationship, you realize your partner does not want to clean a toilet. Are you comfortable cleaning the toilet? If that is, you know what, I don't like to clean a toilet, then what are you willing to do other than that? You got to think about things in a relationship that you are willing to do and not willing to do.
The thing about it is, right, Neil, we be living on our own and thinking and handling that stuff. But from the time somebody else comes into your space, it's like, well, why you gotta do this now? You know what I mean? And I can use the scrubbing the toilet example. You living in a house by yourself or whatever, and you scrubbing the toilet every weekend. But as soon as somebody come in with oh, it's like he gonna scrub the toilet now. You know what I mean?
And there's another thing too. There's a kind of, to me, I think that there is a confused way of thinking, in that there's a division of labor in a domestic situation. In that, when you get in a relationship with a partner, you just figure everything that we do is split in half. So if the toilet is to get clean once a week, two times a week you clean it, right? When you're in a relationship, it's kind of like, see the bathroom want clean the bathroom. See toilet want clean the toilet. Or you divide labor into things that you enjoy doing and you don't enjoy doing. You see, the problem here is when you have a relationship, you gotta try to make it as easy as possible when you come to the mundane things that you don't see in the rom-com. Everybody like
the challenge is the social contract too, because as I say all the time, there's certain things that can't be put down, right? Those things that can't be put down, and it's very often the person who, and I can be gender neutral here, the person holding the things that can't be put down, they get very annoyed when the person who is holding the other stuff says, you know what, well, help me here too. So, for example, I holding the mortgage or the rent, whatever, and the groceries. You got hold light bill, or I say, yeah, let me use the light bill. I got the groceries, I got the rent, you got the light, and then you decide, well, hey, you gotta buy some. I go get this fat, so you holding this money, you like money to get that fat. You know what I mean? So now I gotta help you with the light. So I got a whole lot of burden, and then because it happened once, you try to know next month you want to buy some shoes, so I got to hold the light again. See what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't.
Yeah.
I want to put down the rent because I got X or Y to do.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And that is where the frustrations and the misunderstandings and miscommunications could come in, because suddenly now it's a case of all right, that I see Lee talking about cooking. You as a man, you as a person, you responsible for cutting grass, or you scrubbing the toilet, or you doing the cooking or whatever. And your partner's responsibility is to mop, for example. And you find that you holding up your end, but then your partner saying, well, I tired tonight, so you can help me out here with this. And you realize that suddenly you're doing your stuff and then go help your partner with their stuff. And those are the things you see, they don't see them in the rom-coms. Those are the things that really bring about the problems.
Yes, correct. So I completely agree, right? So you got to understand something. You see, there it says something earlier in our podcast history, right? Where he said that is marriage is a business proposition. It is a business transaction, right? When really and truly, marriage should be predicated on love. The reason why the mentality of many people are shifting toward it being a business transaction is because of how society has molded us, the things that are in place, the benefits to being in a marriage, etc., etc., etc. And then, of course, there's the divorce aspect of it. But me personally, I have come to understand that a relationship, a marriage happens when both people are invested and have all of themselves in, right? A lot of people get 10 toes down. People get conflated in, oh, but I want my freedom, I want my autonomy to do something. But I tell you to have not to have autonomy to do what you want to do and be an individual. But at the end of the day, when you are married, that is That is why you are somebody's husband. That's why you are somebody's wife. You are a unit now. In the eyes of the law, y'all are a unit. Therefore, if you guys are a unit, stop operating as if the divorce is gonna happen. Choose right. If you understand that you do, nobody goes into a relationship expecting it to fail. Nobody gets in a committed relationship, right? Nobody gets and say, you know what, I love you, I want to be with you, or my intent is to do this and that and that. So nobody don't get in those situations with the intent. Well, not necessarily nobody. Most people get into those situations to say, you know what, I expect this to succeed. But along the way, whether it's ego, whether it is lack of communication, whether it is selfishness, whatever it is, it gets in the way of the relationship. When you talk to old people, every now and then, I haven't done it recently, but every now and then, I like to watch old couples on YouTube or whatever talk about marriage, dispense life advice. They don't people advanced age, 80 or up, right? People have been married for 40, 50 years. And they speak about what makes a successful marriage. When you hear those people, every time without fail, each and every one will say it is a duty and commitment. At some point, you can't stand the person. At some point, you can't take on the person or whatever. I have had conversations with older people that have been married for decades, and the fundamental understanding is that divorce ain't an option. Divorce is not an option. You understand what he's saying? We can figure it out. Whether we can talk, whether we can go to church, whether we can communicate, whether we don't talk for a month, whatever, divorce is not an option because I love you and you love me. That love is the foundation. I love you. I got commitment, duty, and honor to you. I don't want to leave you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Right now, you being an idiot. I can't stand the looks of you, the behavior, but I am not leaving because I've made up in my mind I'm not leaving. And that, to me, is what I find is missing in today's relationship, where the out is always an out. There's always an out.
And it's easy.
It's easy.
And because it's incentivized now, right? Because divorce is incentivized. Well, we got a piece of content that we can review one of these days. Because it's incentivized, it's easier for women in particular to say, hey, yo, And as my guy would have said in the video earlier, you get hit for half, and then the lawyer fees clean out the other half. That's happened to me, right? So, generally speaking, as much as it's a scam, and the ladies at the top of the show would have thought or said, they don't have to deal with those consequences unless they're earning significantly more than the men that they would have married. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's incentivized. So it's always easy to say deuces and roll. So the sticking it out is becoming less and less of an option.
Yeah. So just let me wrap up what you're saying here. In the end, right, men and women, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you got to know, and you know what I have found, what I've realized is that sometimes feelings are people use feelings as grounds for a split. Follow me here now. In that feelings are malleable things, right? Feelings are sometimes fleeting, sometimes not true. Feelings are abstract, right? Sometimes people have those abstract feelings, and and I'm guilty of this now. I want to be very, very clear. Men and women are guilty of this. Huh? I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm saying that feelings are things that everyone has, and people act upon those feelings. Sometimes you act upon those feelings, and it blinds you with what you truly want or what your true goal was, whether it be love, a committed relationship, etc. Right? You may feel like, you know what, I can't do this. This is too much for me, etc., 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 and you leave. But you still love the person. You still have a special place in your heart for this person. You still want to be with this person. But you've allowed your feelings to make certain things. And again, I'm not saying that this is a holistic. This is not. Sometimes your feelings and your gut feelings and everything that are true. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got a feeling this man taking advantage of me or this woman horning me or whatever, and you come to find out that that's true. But then there are the feelings that are so abstract where you say, I think that I could get better out there. Or I think that my market value now can allow me to get somebody younger, more attractive, you know, whatever. But the truth of the matter is that once you have that person that loves you and is committed to you, and y'all have said under in front of everybody and God and said, you know what, we are going to move forward in this direction. You got to keep your eyes on that prize daily. We had Ramel Hall on the show, and he spoke about this as well, where marriage, a committed relationship, is a daily practice. It is a daily endeavor. It is a daily exercise. And when you move away from doing those daily, sometimes moment by moment exercises, you can lose. Because after a while, certain things are going to atrophy, certain things are going to become distant memory, etc. And you're going to end up in a bad situation. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want marriage, if you want a long-term committed relationship, you got to have that tough conversation with yourself. And if you are with someone, you're going to have those tough, uncomfortable conversations with that person. And I ain't talking about at the beginning. You may have to have those tough, uncomfortable conversations every month. The same Ramel Hall, he talked about the courageous conversations, right? They have those. They used to have those every so often. I think he said once a month or every few weeks or whatever. He used to have those conversations. And I remember he gave the example of saying one time he and his wife were discussing in front of a therapist if they're attracted to other people. You know what I mean? And you have to be honest. It's a space of complete transparency and honesty. Not saying that they were cheating or whatever. The question was, are you attracted to someone else? And you know,
attraction is not a choice. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Good. And you know, they had to. You see, they had Ramel and his wife had that conversation, and they're still together. Ramel lives on the other side of the planet, and his wife lives here.
Yeah.
And they are married now for near 20 years. Ramel is our age. So so to me, and how I look at life, right, is that if Ramel could do it and find that woman, why can't you? Men, I mean women. Ramel, why find Ramel? Why you can't find a man? Why is the man fault? Why is men fault all the time? Why men ain't the good? Why you don't need a man? Why men ain't ready? Why you can't find an adult male? And you, why it gotta be all of this? Choose different, choose better. Same thing with men. Choose different, choose better. And that's really it. And be willing to do the daily, dirty, grimy, mucky, hard, uncomfortable, unsexy, daily, the things that you don't see in the rom-com. Be willing to do them things every day. Be willing for your wife to come home and say, as for right now, right? I don't want to cook a stitch in here, and I don't like what you tell me last week, Thursday. Women, you gotta be willing for your man to come home and go in front of the TV and just watch TV. And when that man, instead you gonna say, you come home, you ain't really speaking, you're going in front of the TV, you ain't really interacting, you ain't cooking. Ask him how your day is. Man, ask him how your day is. Have conversations about life. Sometimes just have conversations about, you know, today, right? I just drive down the road, right? I see a woman cross the road there, so and the woman drop she money and a dog run away with it. You can believe that? Have those conversations. Because guess what? If you want this person to last for the rest of your life with, that's what you're going to take.
But that's the problem there. You're assuming that people want that long, forever, ever kind of relationship.
But if you don't want that forever, ever, do not come about the place confusing us as if you want that, but the men or women falling short. You understand what I'm saying? If you do not want the happily ever after, if you do not want marriage, if you do not want the commitment, if you do not want to have, it ain't even gonna be marriage, if you don't want to have that relationship where you have that one special someone and you just want a man or a woman temporarily, like, I deal with this man or woman for a year, and after a year, I want something different, I want something better, I want something whatever. Then do not confuse us about men in the good. Because if you want part-time man or woman, that's par for the course. But do not confuse us on Twitter, social media, in the public, whatever, talking about men and women in the good. Right? Men don't get married, don't get tech for this, women don't get married, don't da, 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 da. You confusing us. Cause you going into things thinking you want a long-term relationship, you putting into your 10 toes, the man giving you 10 toes, and at the first thing the saying you don't like you out, and then men in the good, women in the good. It just is, look, honestly speaking, right? It is a lot. I think that we are deluding ourselves in 2022. Whether we say we want a committed relationship or we say we don't want a committed relationship, I think we are lying to ourselves, and I am guilty of it too. I want to make that very, very clear. But at some point, as I have had to come to realize, you can't lie to yourself forever because you can feel a level of emptiness inside, whether you want or you don't want.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents on that.
Folks, it is 16 minutes past the hour of 9 in Barbados and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. You are indeed watching the Senate podcast, the Thinking Man's podcast here in Barbados on YouTube. Hit the like button, folks. That's the cost of admission.
You got to say Thinking Persons podcast, man.
Sorry, Thinking Persons podcast. Right? Let me dive into the chat a little bit because I see some stuff going on in here that, I think I need to address.
All right, well, let me get it.
You see, Erica, the same way a woman should pick better not to end up with a man child, a man should pick better not to end up with a gold digger. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Erica, most men don't have gold to dig, so not a problem for average men. Facts. Carrie Ann, Boom Bang Connect. I am with her, unknowing the change in his breathing. Yes, man, be your man's peace. That's important. I can come to that in a minute because I saw Erica address it later on. It was where she got it from, and now I see where it came from. So we can come back to that, right? Lee asked the question, why does treating your man like a king mean you're sacrificing the world? And that is what we're trying to impress upon you. It doesn't. If you can treat your man... And there's a difference too, right? Between, doing the whole king treatment thing, right? Because you could serve somebody and not do it pleasantly. Those of you who've been to a bar or restaurant, you will know exactly what I mean. You go away to that serving you, but you could tell the girl got some attitude, or you get in a store, a one-door store downtown, and it's like, what you want? As opposed to how may I help you, you know what I mean? So there's a difference in how things go, right? Getting joy from seeing your partner's joy is a beautiful thing, says Aston. Correct. Indeed it is. And that is why I said you got to take care of your partner, and your partner should be taking care of you. Once we approach a relationship that way, everything should be good. The problem is some people don't want to do that. Some people want to be catered to and don't want to do the catering, right? See Marlon in the house. Greetings to you, my brother. Submission is a release. Yes. Life on easy street. We went through that 4 P's. We see what we're talking about. If you can do that, or find a man that you want to do that for, and who is worthy of that, because the man that you can submit to ain't gonna be no, pookie and rare, for want of a better term. This man coming into these situations sorted.
And also too,
easy mode, I go forward.
But also too, and I can answer women a question. Women, ladies, when your man comes and there always uses the analogy, he comes, lay his head in your lap and you rub it. He's had a hard day and he seeks you out for emotional comfort and support. How does that make you feel? How does it make you
That's a
feel?
really good question.
How does it make you feel that your man comes to you and say, "Yo, I had a hard day today, babe. I need a hug," or you know what I mean? Can I just lean on you emotionally? How does that make you feel? And when you finish answer that, right? Consider that that is submission. He is submitting to you.
Rihanna says, I'll be honest, I still struggle with the term submission. Well, that's unfortunate. That's the most I could say there. Tariq, the current modern day relationship, homes, laundry, and dishes clean themselves, six-figure income appears by a magic carpet, and nobody does anything, but somehow it stays together. Yes, as I said in the opening monologue, somebody got to put in work. And guess what? If it works better if both parties put in that work. Erica, I hate how submission plays out in reality. More often than not, there is an imbalance and the woman ends up sacrificing her needs and wants without enough appreciation or respect. And that is not true. As I would have said earlier, if you have submitted to the right person, he takes care of your wants and needs. What you are describing is that waiting to exhale, color purple, diary of a mad black woman fallacy, for want of a better word, that permeates our society now. So that is why we see the videos we saw at the top of the show where women saying well, men don't do nothing in relationships, men don't bring nothing to relationships. I was in a relationship once with a lady who submitted to me, right? We go anywhere, I will walk on the outside. We in a crowd, I will hold her hand, I will walk in front. You know what I mean? Certain things, I got it, you don't gotta pull your pocket, it cool. But guess what? On the flip side, I be at work and I get a call. Yeah, Marsh, I hear so at X place. Do you want so and so and so and so? I taking care of her needs on one hand, she taking care of my needs on the other. That is how relationships work. That is how submission works. And for those of you who struggle with the term submission, as kids said years ago, it's gonna be a long, hard struggle. Yeah.
You might get that song, bro.
It will be a long, hard
struggle. Jeez.
Rihanna, like number one. Most men can't supply number one. Sometimes the woman has to cover 50% and sometimes more. Okay. I think that might be in terms of provision. I think it's or protection. 1 and 2. Provision. I think it's provision. Tango Fox, they are real and pseudo women. Don't get your head tired. Erica, I don't agree that women approach relationships in bad faith. But again, when we look at the top of the show and we see the videos where the women talking about men don't do this and men don't do that, and you don't get nothing for your birthday, you don't get nothing for your Mother's Day and all that. If I get into a relationship, if I submit to a man, he's going to abuse me and abuse the submission. That is bad faith, because that would be like most men saying, hey, if I get into a relationship, this woman gonna harm me. This woman gonna run boat with my friends that got more money than me. That is bad faith. So yes, many women approach, not all, because you know you gotta say that these days, Neil. Many women approach relationships in bad faith, right? Cherish, I love the 4 Ps, but how do we all filter through the chameleons? Well, again, you go into the relationship, because this is the thing, men's 4 Ps don't change. You will be able to provide what you can provide. You will protect what you can. You will problem solve how you already do. That is not going to change for you. It's going to be a plug and play thing for you as men. For women, it's a little different because, hey, what works for one woman may not necessarily work with you. Right? And what one man might like may not necessarily work with the next man, right? So you got to tailor how you approach relationships in that regard. So how do you filter through the chameleons? You do your thing. You provide what you provide. And remember we said, if your wants and needs are not being provided for, well, that's when you got to push. You do what you do. You provide. For me, I go into relationships and I provide certain things, right? If I provide those things and they realize that those things are not being appreciated, or even worse, reciprocated, it's been great. Then the hard feelings, they push. All right? They push. And then the hard feelings, as I said, the vex, then the rancor, then the acrimony, it just push. Cherish, why are women sacrificing their needs without appreciation, etc.? Nobody has asked you to do that. Again, if you've submitted to the right person, your needs are his responsibility. His needs are your responsibility. But I notice that the ladies are approaching it from the perspective of, why I gotta sacrifice all of this? You're not looking at it from the point of view of, I am going to be provided for in this regard. And that is what I mean when I say bad faith. That's what I mean when I talk about a spirit of fear.
And not only that too, but consider that men sacrifice too, right? Like,
yeah,
like
men are acutely aware that they have to sacrifice their freedom. They have to sacrifice their money. Consider this, ladies. When you go on a first date with a man, a first date, you'll know this man from a can of paint for all intents and purposes, right? Immediately you fall under the first peer protection. Immediately. Because you go, they had a shooting in Haynesville minutes ago, right? So you out with a man, I want to strolling through Wall Street or whatever that is, Oxnards, husbands. That man is expected to find a way to protect you. Further to that, your 16-year-old son goes on his first date with a girl from school or whatever, and he is already on the hook for his protection at 16 years old. So yes, men do provide in relationships. Yes, men do have to provide those things, and clearly from ball one.
And have to sacrifice.
Exactly. So it ain't all women doing all of this and men ain't doing that. Nah. Don't be misled. I appreciate that they're balancing the responsibility of men when women submit. Yeah, because you're gonna submit to the man who is providing for you. I ain't asking you to submit to a man that, of ill repute or no repute. The challenge for you is to figure out who is of repute and deal with that man. You're not going to deal with anybody and then be like, Jay's all bread, this man here, so you don't do this, you don't do that. Nah. As somebody was saying, doing a filtering first. Filter out first. Don't be so quick to, let me just provide some stomach here because they got itch to scratch. Nah. Slow down. Slow down. I just want to get to know you. Bobby Valentino, man. Yeah?
Some stomach.
See Charmaine in the house. Good night to you, Charmaine.
Charmaine, shout out Charmaine, man. Hope you're doing well.
It is a lack of appreciation that I guess I get comfortable with the wife doing certain things. The thank yous get less and less. It can happen on the other side too. Okay. Because got time tonight. Kind of sort of. So let me talk about the social contract. So let me talk about the fact that men get stomach as gifts. Let's talk about the fact that men provide that same protection and provision and all that we're talking about. And there's no thank you inside there either. Let us stop approaching relationships as if, women do all of this and men don't do anything. This is what I mean when I talk about bad faith. Yeah? Husbands can feel unappreciated. When that appreciation wanes, that's when marriage can feel like a burden or a scam. This is why I'm saying, and I can keep saying it, your needs, your wants are his responsibility. His needs and wants are your responsibility. You're attempting to outdo each other in pleasing the other person. And that's how being that particular ex who used to approach the relationship. Trying to one up the other person and, as a service and, providing for the other person. That's what it is. In a case of it, I saw something that says givers have to set limits because takers never do. Right? So if you're always giving, you can go set some limits on that because somebody taking from you, it was just take. And as you say, something don't even say thanks. Yeah, listen, if I don't have to work again and a man can provide for me where all my needs are met, I'll completely submit. But most can't do that, so how do you completely submit to that? Oh man. I want to address this, but I don't. Let me go forward and see if I got a spirit to come out of that. I think things are generally skewed towards the husband being underappreciated. Thank you, Lee. Most things are about women. Let me get something here for Lee here. So
Play. Yep.
Get Lee some forward here. Yeah. I'm glad that you can see that. I appreciate that, Lee. Thank you so much. Because we seem to be of the belief that, and I said it, we so quick to say, hey, what do I get? When we really should be looking to figure out in a relationship, what can I give? What do I provide? You know what I mean? What do I bring to this relationship? Let me go forward some more. Have to stay conscious in your relationship. If not, you get comfortable and keep reminding your partner of your needs as they will change over time. I put some things on screen earlier, right? Sorry, I asked you to put some things on screen earlier. Protection, provision, problem solving. What's the other one here? Procreation.
Yeah, procreation.
And we covered a lot of things under those 4 P's, right? Then we went into the 10 life values that the man that is your potential boyfriend / husband is coming to you looking to have in order. I don't know. Well, all right, yeah. Just keep reminding him of your need. Just do that all the time. I'm trying to figure out what you'd have to remind him of, but just keep reminding him. I think we got to be careful with the narrative with being a man's piece. the man got to find his own piece. You just don't disturb it. Same thing with happiness. As you put your peace and happiness on another, you're becoming a burden. If you cannot find peace in your own relationship, in yourself, you shouldn't be in a relationship. Yeah? If you can't find that peace for yourself, you shouldn't be in a relationship. But there is something to be said. There is value in, and I can use this reference again, being able to come home after a long day, put your head in someone's lap, that person rub your head and say nothing. Believe it or not, there is power in that. Ladies, if you don't me, try it with the next man you got and see what happens. Right? Being a person's peace may just mean being able to work with, because like Farb, so we come home to misery. Yeah, nobody, and that's what we all need to recognize. Nobody, because Brittany Renner said it. Do you want perfect Polly, a puppet, or you want somebody to challenge you overtly? If you got a man that operates a certain way, why do you feel this need to challenge him overtly? To challenge him at all? How about saying, babes, you know, I think we need to do X, Y, Z, or what do you think about so and so? You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. That's what it says, right? That's scripture. That's scripture to you.
Yeah.
Feeling biblical tonight, man. Okay. If a woman has a problem, her man is quite happy to solve it for her, but not when she nagging, cussing, raucous, and just miserable. Amen and amen. There's also a school of thought: if a woman has a problem, everybody got a problem. If a man got a problem, it's his problem. But that's another story for another time, right? Sorry, I think not having to take out the garbage and kill pests / everything nasty is worth all the laundry, bathroom, and half the cooking. LOL. Cherry says that mathing. Sorry, but you committed to it. If you can't execute cause something outside of your control, then I would step in and balance out. Yeah, that sounds real good in theory until it's practiced, until you get practical. Communication, sense of maturity. Okay, I agree, but abuse and cheating are the grounds for an out. And here we have bad faith rearing its ugly head one more time, right? Let me say this. Right? Let me say this. Abuse is not as widespread or as prevalent as people want us to believe, right? Neil had the figures on it. Trust me, that is not the reason that people are dissolving marriages. It is one of the reasons, but it certainly ain't first, second, or even third, right?
No, it's not.
It's not. Cheating, it happens. That too is not as prevalent as people would like us to believe, right? Certain men cheat, and invariably, those men that cheat are known to be cheaters, right? And they've done it for a while. A lot of times they were doing it even before they got into a relationship. Let me carry on. Divorce is not easy or incentivized. Okay. You walk into court looking to dissolve your marriage. Who do we think? We ain't know none of this is arbitrary case, right? Arbitrary case. It's me and Rianne. We walk into court to dissolve our marriage. All things being equal, who get any children? All things being equal, who get any house? Yeah. Sure, all things be equal, who will have to pay the other person? And this is without knowing any other facts. So yeah, it is indeed incentivized. When you say, let's not say it is not easy, let's say it's not cheap. That is what usually sticks up most people. Because you gotta pay. Somebody gotta pay. Most people don't want to. A lot of people can't afford to, right? Charmaine, and sometimes at the first sign of any type of difficulty, one partner leaves because of lack of commitment to work through challenges in the bond of the union. Correct. I find plenty women want a wedding, not a marriage. Lee and here spitting tonight. The marriage is like Jordan and Pippen on a team. Don't use that reference because right now, Pippen play Jordan for blast these days. Charmaine, partner may not be able to buy expensive gifts, but they can get creative and make a nice dinner of their partner's favorite meal and spend quality time together. Yeah, but in these Instagramification and Disneyfication times, nobody want their romantic thing, Charmaine, boy. You gotta come out of pocket. You gotta come out of pocket and show something special, right? Nina Derry, could it be different between Bajan women and other women from the other islands? The Guyanese women were ousting beer Bajan women a few years ago. Yes, I remember that. It's still happening today.
Well, let's talk about that then. Why is that? Why is that? Why a few years ago the Guyanese women came in en masse carrying enough Bajan men, and nobody can talk about that. What do Guyanese women have? A lot of people get on the men. Oh, the men this and that. The men ain't faithful, loyal, whatever. They're going with other women, whatever like that. But what were those women contributing or adding or doing that got all of them, that carry all them men?
The major women say that these women get a sweat rice.
Sweat rice, right?
Sweat rice.
But all that happening, right, is that Guyanese women, I mean, let me be very clear. From
let's not be xenophobic.
from what I understand, from what I have seen, from what I have been told, Guyanese women understand what it is like in a marriage. Sometimes to a fault. Because, you know, Guyanese women, you know, you hear about the abuse, you hear about, you know, the infidelity and the men and stuff like that, and the women don't leave, right? In their culture, in their society, divorce is ain't really saying that's happened. Left ain't saying that there's right. So when a Guyanese woman come and they realize these Bajan men here,
hobby,
these men out here beating the women in the street and openly horning and cheating and like, you know what I mean? From what I understand, it is very prevalent in that community that their men do certain things that are toxic. We Bajan men don't do them sort of things. For matter of fact, other islands say that we scared. Yeah. Maybe to our detriment. But when they say that Bajan men they say a lot of things about Bajan men, but one thing they will not say is that we out here, they might say Bajan men is horn. Sure. All right. We's horn. Right? But they will say we don't do it like some of the other men in some other islands. We might go out there and get a one dance or a one love up or whatever. But we ain't out here saying, yeah, my woman coming in here tonight, right? So my wife cooked some food in here for me.
Yeah, we also not as predisposed to violence as, you know,
I just saying
other islands, right? I got a partner of mine. He said when he was studying, he had a Trinidadian girlfriend, and he was saying that she made the point to him that Bajan men tend to be cleaner, oddly enough, and this is something she said, right? So it's a lot of little things that, you know, come into play. The Bajan women say that really lately long hair and the funny accent and all that stuff. But I posit that it's more than that. The fact that you could, you know, get a little meal, that goes a long way. That goes a long way. Yeah. Every answer the Guyanese women cooking and cleaning and holding horns left, right, and center. Yeah, but I know a lot of them women get houses out of men.
And
so
hold on.
The horns they come for free.
Not only that, but Guyanese women cooking and cleaning and holding horns left and right. But they still come in and carry all the men up here to tell it. So if Guyanese women, consider this, right? That is why it said, we in the black community, right? We've got this thing where, and again, I've been guilty of it. One person hurt you, two people hurt you, three people hurt you, everybody can hurt you in that fashion or form, right? We don't get the therapy, anything like that. Why other races, why other cultures, why other communities, right? Why they just approach things? Guyanese women just cook clean, just get horns, just get abused, just get all sorts of things. But they still approach situations in some form or fashion in good faith. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I never hear a Guyanese woman say that I don't need a man. I don't hear that coming out of Guyana. I don't hear that coming out of the white community. I don't hear that coming out of Asia. I don't hear that coming out of Scandinavia. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just interesting to me how there is a fear of being taken advantage of. Shoot, men are afraid of being taken advantage of for the wallet, for the provision, for the emotional vulnerability, etc. So what I don't understand why women feel that there's this unique situation where it's only when they get taken advantage of, and men out here just living the best life and getting on as if we ain't care nothing about nothing and we just moving. I just don't understand.
Yep.
I don't understand how we see it in the comments tonight from women that we love to believe that we think are very intelligent and very forthright and understanding. Yet here in the chat, a lot of people are saying, "But what about? You know, this has happened, that has happened, etc." Like if we men is just getting the things and figure, yeah, that nigga happen to me. Shoot, I got fears.
We just do it we like.
Me as a man, I have fear of emotional abandonment. That is something that has ruined relationships for me because I've taken that emotional pain and hurt into fresh relationships. And I have lost out for it. And I'm here to tell you what Derek said is operating in good faith is so true. Because when you yeah, I can cater to a man. I can cook, clean, free, and give sex and everything. That he ain't go there and cheat for me. He ain't go there and don't do certain things for me. He can go on and treat me as a slave or whatever. You think as a man I hear saying, all right, well, when I go into a relationship, you know, if a woman caters to me and everything like that, I can allow her to cater to me. And then I can be emotional with her and I can message her every day and I can carry her out to dates and I can pay for certain things and I can, you know, talk about our fears and desires and be emotionally bonded and connected with her. She could left me same way too. Quite too soft.
It's feminine. You can't do that. Exactly. I was just gonna say you can't do that. It's too soft.
But the point I'm trying to make is that let us kill this narrative, right? Where women out there out in a lot of things. I have this, or this man can take advantage of me. And men out here saying, who taking advantage of me? Because women you think that we get emotionally abused as well as men? You think that some of us have been physically abused by women? I know I was present to see a man get physically abused by a woman. Right? Women just cheat. The point I'm trying to make is that I understand y'all are operating from your perspective. That is fine. But what we are saying is let us understand that whenever you are when you are giving you giving love, you giving your heart to someone, you are going to be vulnerable, meaning that there will be a risk of being taken advantage of. So whether you man, woman, cat, dog, it don't matter. Look at dogs. A lot of people love dogs, right? You could do anything to a dog. You could beat a dog, don't feed a dog. You do whatever you want, dog. You could have a dog as a puppy. You could hug that puppy, kiss that puppy, feed that puppy, bathe that puppy, everything. When the dog gets to a big dog now, you start treating that dog bad, beating the dog, whatever. But the dog can still protect you. The dog can still come around you. The dog can still be there for you, have a loyalty to you. Why is that? I ain't saying that we should do that to the detriment of ourselves. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that there is a quality in these animals. There is a quality in these animals where they are willing to say, the next owner I have or the next human human have the capacity for good and they have shown me good. Therefore, that man beat me and treat me bad. I still need to protect here or whatever, because I don't know why I ain't a dog. But the point is that there is something to be said for that. Instead of us always entering things as if, oh, this person can take advantage of you. Like, I am sorry to say it, right? This is going to sound rough, especially coming from me, especially those that know me can know that this is something that is rough for me to say. But we all get that sort of hurt and abuse, though. We have all been hurt. We have all been hurt. It has happened. And me personally, I am in therapy partly because of the hurt I've endured from women. But I still want a marriage. I still want to spend the rest of my life with a woman. I still want a partner. I'm working on bettering myself to get there, though. So, why you taking a hiatus from dating? Why you men ain't ready? And why I choose to be single and men ain't up to snuff and I can get work for yourself then? Get past that. See that as a problem. Because some of y'all out there saying don't need a man, but they're home wishing for a man.
237.
I understand that y'all are operating from your perspective, and that's fine. But please understand that men have to sacrifice, men have to give, men have to cater. When you find your husband will have to do. He is giving up just as much. He's putting himself out on the ledge just as much as you are.
Stick a pin here, not to cross you, But to be fair, the ladies are not accepting a wedding invitation or an invitation to be married from a man who is not providing something, which is what makes the ladies in the videos at the top of the show look so, I want to be diplomatic, let's say unreasonable. Because you accepted the man's invitation to be married, which means that he had to be doing something that would make you feel, well, yeah, this is a man that you should marry. And that makes you look even more unreasonable. Right? Big up my man Kevin, big up that Mark finger or something. All of them wife, no bitch. Yeah. Back in the day, that's a big one, boy Kevin. You're showing your age.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was trying to find that song a few weeks ago for this very show. Can't find it though, but hey. That's how it goes. Folks, it is 10 minutes to the hour of 10 in Barbados, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. You have been indeed watching the Senate podcast, the Thinking Persons podcast, we like to call it here in the Caribbean. Hit the like button. Hit the button. That is the cost of admission. Admission is real cheap. We got some shorts coming for you. we got some doozies lined up for you guys. So look out for those. We do not make the rules, we just make sure you know what they are. Yeah. You can ignore reality all you want, particularly in this my woman thing. You can ignore reality all you want, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Be the best version of you for you. We are going to see you guys again very, very soon. Stay safe out there because, we had another shooting here only a few minutes ago in Haynesville. Apparently, the streets are indeed hot and we are still very much under the threat of COVID. Be safe out there, guys. We are going to see you guys again soon.
Peace.